Hello, everyone. Have you ever woken up feeling completely empty, as if the weight of the world is pressing down on you? You usually try and go out about your day, but nothing feels meaningful. The things that you once loved now seem pointless. You laugh, but it doesn't feel real. You smile, but it's not the same. It's exhausting. And if someone asks, "Are you feeling okay?" you say, "Yeah, I'm fine," because you feel it's impossible to explain how you're feeling. Depression and anxiety, they aren't sadness. I mean, they aren't you being sad. It's a conflict and a storm that rages inside of you, invisible to the people around you, but it's overwhelming for the person who's trapped in it. It isolates you slowly and gradually. It isolates you, makes you question your worth, and worst of all, it convinces you that you are alone. In reality, you're not. In this video, I want to have an open and honest conversation about what depression is, why it happens, and most importantly, how to fight back. Because no matter how dark it gets, there's always a way forward. And I, with the help of this video, want you to find it. I'm able to comment on this because I've gone through all the different stages of depression and anxiety myself. I want to share my learning with you, and this video is just one of the ways I thought I can help raise awareness about depression and anxiety. And while they are overwhelming, right, I'm not denying that, they can easily be managed and often overcome. So please note that this is not a medical advice. This is for informational purposes only. But again, let's make a start. Through this video, I will try and help you find a possible way to beat depression. Okay, so let me give you a bit of a background into how I went into depression. So I grew up in a financially struggling family. My parents prioritized our education despite the hardships. After earning my IT degree, I landed a job at IBM back in 2006, then moved to Honeywell a year later. In 2009, I launched a company to offer IT consultancy, despite having no prior experience in the field. That same month, my father was diagnosed with liver cirrhosis, adding to the emotional and financial strain. Um, then I think after 3 years of struggling in Genius Gray, the IT consultancy I had found, I lost money, but painfully, I lost time. In May 2012, I decided to shut down the business, proving skeptics right. The failure haunted me, leading to a complex struggle inside my brain. It, I wasn't aware, but this was anxiety, depression. I felt isolated from everything and everyone. I didn't want to do the same things I wanted to do before. I love photography. I love to go out. I love to hang out with friends. But in that time, I could see myself distancing from everyone around me. My family's effort, I mean, they were reaching out to me, and they were trying to comfort me as much as possible. But I think the comfort felt like reminders of my shortcomings, deepening, my struggles. So that's a bit of a background. I am not giving you superficial knowledge. I have experienced this myself. And so now I'm going to tell you about what is depression. So, in simple terms, non clinical terms, depression is a mood disorder where you constantly feel low and question the purpose of everything. You may believe no one can truly understand you, even if you try to explain, because you yourself don't fully grasp what's happening. It often brings anger over very trivial things, and usually there's a tendency to push people away. This phase can be very, very dangerous, but don't worry. I'll be explaining everything about depression and how to overcome it in the later part of the video. But remember, you have to identify it, right? You can't keep it hidden and don't seek help. because it can slowly distance you from everything you once loved: family, friends, hobbies, and probably life itself. So let's look at causes and triggers for depression, and these are some of the common causes. So now that we have a general understanding of what depression is, let's explore its causes and potential triggers. Number one, fear. Fear is a major contributing factor. It could be fear of failure, losing a job, financial instability, not being able to support loved ones. These anxieties can build up over time and lead to depression. Second, regret. Regret often fuels depressive thoughts. You try and think, if only I had studied harder, maybe I would have a better job. Or, if I could have saved more, I could have bought a house, paid off my mortgage. Dwelling on the past creates a cycle of negativity. Third, jealousy. We often compare ourselves to others, and this can be destructive. So you may wonder, why is everyone else happy? Why do they have money, love, success, while I'm struggling? This constant comparison can drain your self worth. Number fourth, social isolation. We have we all have Facebook friends, right? Thousands of them. Some people have like 1,000 friends on Facebook. But how many of them are actually friends? You know, are there people in your social media friend list that you can call up at 2 a.m. and they'll be willing to support you? So this lack of meaningful social connections can lead to feeling of emptiness and despair. This also compounds if you move to a new place because you are losing familiar places, familiar faces, friends, or if you're working in isolation, this can worsen. Number five, chronic stress and burnout. So if there's people who are in consultancy jobs would understand this, right? So if there's persistent work pressure, financial struggles, if there are relationship conflicts, this can push a person into depression. The prolonged sense of being overwhelmed leads to exhaustion and hopelessness. Number six, physical health issues. Now, when I say physical health issues, doesn't necessarily mean you yourself. It could be yourself and family or people you care about. So chronic illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, like in my father's case, liver cirrhosis, in my mother's case, breast cancer. So this all compounds. There are also hormonal imbalances, especially in women postpartum, right? And deficiencies if there are any. So this can all combine and manifest itself in the form of depression. Number seven, substance abuse. Excessive alcohol or drug abuse can alter brain chemistry, leading to depressive thoughts. And many people would use substance as an escape, but this ultimately worsens depression. There was a movie I can't remember who. Um, yeah, the title was Requiem for a Dream, and it was all about this, right? Substance abuse, depression. It's a great movie. If you happen to watch it, go watch it. Okay, number eight, sleep disorders, insomnia, irregular sleeping patterns. People who sleep at 4, 5 a.m. It disrupts brain function and emotional stability. It doesn't give brain time to properly, you know, filter out junk and stack everything up. You know, so sleep deprivation can cause mood swings, irritability, prolonged sadness. These are all its impact. Unrealistic expectations and perfectionism. Number nine. So constantly we try and constantly compare ourselves to others, right? So we we usually feel like we are not good enough. Now this can happen in some cases when people compare you with others. This can erode self-esteem. Setting excessively high personal or professional standards or goals can lead to self-criticism and despair. Number 10, lack of purpose or direction. I think this is key, right? So, you know, 10 years, 20 years in a corporate job, and all of a sudden you begin to question, why am I here? Is this what I was meant to do as a human being? Right? So these are existential questions, and they can cause depression as well. This is usually common in retirees, right? Students unsure about their future, or those stuck in unfulfilling jobs. There are some other factors as well. For instance, environmental and seasonal factors, right? Seasonal factors, um, especially in winters when people feel more depressed because of the weather, right? But once the weather improves, they feel okay. These feelings often subside. Pollution can be a compounding factor. And number 12 is obviously distressing events. So if you happen to have news of distressing nature, loss of a loved one, witnessing an accident, hearing tragic news, this can deeply impact mental health and trigger depression. Okay. So understanding these triggers is the first step towards managing them. Now, in some people, there could be one or more of these triggers at play. In others, it could be just one trigger at play. Okay, so you'll need to decide for yourself, which one is it, and then we'll discuss, what are the ways to overcome depression. I think the first challenge in overcoming depression is recognizing it as a mood disorder. So most people usually tend to remain depressed for a long, long time before they even find out that there's something called depression and they are impacted by it. It is usually accompanied by anxiety, panic attacks. I don't know if any of you have felt panic attacks. It feels like, your heart starts racing for no reason, right? You're sitting, let's say, you're talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden, your heart would start racing, and you will feel as if you're getting sick, or maybe having a heart attack, right? And this just compounds your depression and anxiety. Okay. Um, Usually, it used to happen to me. So usually, it would trigger as night fell, right? So as night used to fall, and I mean, I used to dread the night. I used to dread it because I knew that night was coming, and there was a sense of impending doom, like something was going to happen, something very tragic, very bad, and I could not describe this feeling to anyone. Okay, they would laugh at me, and I think this made it even more serious because I was not talking to anyone, and just this feeling kept increasing in me every single day. So first step is to recognize it as a mood disorder. Second, talk about it. You should share your thoughts with family, close friends. Therapists can speed up recovery, right? So you can see a therapist as well. If you keep bottle it up, it just prolongs the struggle. Okay, and you'll find it very hard to um, to battle depression on your own. You need friends, family to help you with it. In my case, there was a close friend of mine. He was in Singapore, um, and he called me out of the blue when I sounded low, and he didn't question me on why I was feeling low. He just talked to me on all the different things. Obviously, we grew up together, so he knew a lot about me, and he kept bringing my family back in the conversation. How's your father? How's your mother? Etc. Etc. And he spoke with me for I don't know an hour, 45 minutes, right? And he kept calling me every day, and there were times when I used to think, right, I shouldn't speak to him. Why am I engaging in a conversation with him about how I am feeling? Because even though I may explain it to him, he may never understand. But as I opened up to him, right, I realized there was a marked change in me. That the change was that I was more open, and I told him, I have these thoughts, and I was suicidal as well. So I had these thoughts, and he said, yeah, it happened to me as well, and he gave me a few other examples, and that's when I felt, okay, it's not just me who's impacted. There are other people also who get impacted by it. It's just that we don't see it, we don't talk about it, and which is why you know very few people know about this kind of a problem. Third, engage in activities. So you must learn to distract your mind. Your mind controls your body, right? But it is you who has to control the mind. You need to pick something up, a hobby, I don't know, music, dance, sports, anything you want to do, right? And over time, this will be very, very helpful. Some people do gardening, some people learn to cook. Yeah. So keep on engaging in activities. In my case, spirituality really helped. Okay. So I don't know if you're spiritual or not, but listening to religious scriptures, bhajans, in Hindu religion, there are bhajans, right? In Islam, there are naats and sermons. And, any sermon with a soothing tone right before bed can be very, very calming. Okay. So, for those of you who are religious, right, the simple practice can bring peace, improve sleep, and within days, you may feel a positive shift in your mindset. Okay. So it's not what is being uttered, is how it's being uttered. And most of the religious scriptures or things they talk about in spirituality are about hope, right? And that's one of the driving factors, right? Hope that this will get better, hope that you'll come out of depression, hope that you'll find the job that you're looking for, hope that you'll find the right match, your life partner. So all of this may come from spirituality as well. Okay. Also, learn to practice gratitude. I think it's very important, right? Regardless of your beliefs, take a moment to reflect on the good things in your life. You have a family, they love you, your friends, a home. Now compare this to someone who's struggling on a daily basis. People who are homeless, disabled. Okay, the kind of struggles they face on a daily basis is something we are not accustomed to, and they think we are gifted because of this. Yeah. So this perspective can help appreciate what you have. Number six, help others. I mean, it's simple, right? Every time you help somebody, it just brings so much peace within you. Okay, giving back to the society can be healing. Feed the hungry, support a child's education, visit orphanages. Then most of the companies they do CSR, right? But that's more like you have to do it, and I love it. I love it for the simple fact that I'm going to interact with these kids who have no idea about their future. Maybe they do, right? But I can at least guide them, and this little good helps me sleep better at night. So those in need obviously can help you heal in ways you may never imagine. Number seven, very important, seek forgiveness and make amends. So there may be mistakes you have committed in the past or others have committed against you. They can weigh heavily on the conscience, often leading to depression. If something from your past burdens you, right, try to make it right. Ask for forgiveness, repent, okay, and commit to doing good. So all of these steps to overcome depression, they are not clinically tested. But I'll tell you what, they've worked in my instance. And you can try it and let me know if they work in your case as well. And I'll also give you some facts about depression. You are not alone, first and foremost, right? You are not alone. You're not the only person who is depressed in this world. Approximately 1 in 20 people worldwide experiences depression. Secondly, treatment is possible. First is obviously discussion, recognizing it, therapy, and then probably clinical help. Okay, but seeking help is an efficient way to recovery. Third point, higher prevalence in women. So depression is more likely to occur in women than in men, especially for women who experience postpartum depression right after giving birth. There's also a genetic link, so depression can also run in families, and that could be the driving force, and that could be the reason why you're feeling depressed. There could be past trauma that can trigger it. It could be abuse, neglect, violence, or poverty. These all may contribute. And I'll tell you what, right? There are some events which you may not remember from your childhood. Okay, but each of those events may have an impact on you, And as you continue to age, okay, the the feelings you had then, um, they come to fore. Okay, so they are kept hidden, but then it takes them years to build up and then manifest in the form of depression. Lastly, anxiety and depression are connected. Addressing one often helps alleviate the other. So, if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling depressed, they are more or less one and the same thing. So, I hope in this video, I mean, this is my first attempt, so forgive me um, if I made this video too long. But I hope that this video have provided you with some insights on managing and overcoming depression. If you found this video helpful, kindly share it with others who may be facing similar struggles. And don't forget to like it. If it, this would help spread awareness and reach more people in need. Also, if anyone of you wants to speak about, what they are feeling, or if the video helped, drop a comment. I'll see, what's the best way to connect, maybe over email or what. I don't use WhatsApp or Telegram, so um, but I can connect over email. All right. So I wish all of you the best of luck. Hope you overcome it. And if you need any help, just drop a comment. Thank you all. Cheers. Bye.